Portland Sports Arena. This is Portland Wrestling. Your ringside host, Frank Bonema. Brought to you in part by Tom Peterson's, Oregon's largest TV stereo and appliance store. Tom Peterson's, 82nd and Southeast Foster Road. And by Friendly Chevrolet in Lake Oswego. Whether you're looking for a new or used car or truck, see the folks at Friendly Chevrolet. And a very good Saturday evening to you all, whatever you might be doing on this great July day and evening. We hope that you're ready to watch some great action.
We are back with episode 35 on TEW and Beyond. What is Beyond? We're in 1970, so go in your Wayback Machines. We are going back to Portland. Let's have a look. Decisions. What happened last time? Contract negotiations with Tony Rose. Who was Tony Rose? $180 per show handshake deal. Seems a bit steep. But okay, we'll go for it. We're adding and we are expanding the women's division. Tony Rose, is she a babyface? A heel, badass, realistic gimmick. And she's working for a lot of companies. Let's see who's going to be available for this week on TV. That's the thing when you're going to book people and have plans. You've got to kind of see who is available. This week on TV, everybody is available. Looks like we might have a battle royal or a tournament. And as you know, right around the corner here, 23 days, we've got a few TVs remaining. But Redwood Rebellion 70. Let's go back there on the event TV screen. And this is the partially AI helped along poster for this one. The Loggers versus the Vipers. There's no tag teams that we have, but taking Portland into consideration when we made that one. Cousin Alfred, born in Kentucky, the Scufflin' Hillbillies. That sounds like a great old school gimmick. The Scufflin' Hillbillies. All right. Cousin Chuck, Cousin Rip. I mean, to me, that looks like something that ECW would have done as a joke, kind of in like the Duff Brothers, late 90s, early 2000s. Victor Rivera versus WWF. Okay, so he is not happy with the company whatsoever. Maybe he'll go to Puerto Rico and open his own promotion there. We'll see. Let's look at storylines. What do we want to implement for next time? Can we actually use the creative idea here? Deploy. No, the restrictions on the storyline idea prevent us. And that's because it's not been long enough. So we have to use that at least 30 days. How many days has this been going? It has been Monday, 8th of June. Oh, 1 day left. Okay, let's go ahead and implement the idea in 1 day's time. Although, has it been... Yeah, it's a month with 30 days is June, doesn't it? Yeah, 30 and 31 is July. So we should be able to do that this time. That's a shame if you're going to have a pay-per-view and you book at the wrong date, like 29th of February. Then you'd have it like once every 4 years. Although that might be a good gimmick, like the extra day around the sun kind of pay-per-view kind of gimmick. I suggest that to a promoter. I had an idea this week and I suggested it to a promoter. I won't say which one. We'll see if they reply to that one. But it was having like a 3 French person main event, a triple threat. Calling it Carnage et Trois. We'll see. If you see that idea being on a real wrestling show soon, you know who came up with it. You know where you heard it first. It was TEW and Beyond. Let's implement the idea. It's been a month. Are you sure? Well, we've been waiting a month. Yes. And the impact will be next time it will be advanced. We will see if it's positive or negative. And hey, 4 days until the TV, so I'm sure we'll see it then. Okay. Sodat Gorky, he's the guy. He is actually on a roster right now in a tag team on the lower side of the heel division. But it's good to have people to fill out the roster and people you can beat there. So Ivan and the Russian Wolfmen, is that what they're called? I don't know, I quite like that name. What do I call him? Carl von Steiger, and I can understand why he has been hired there. He's a very good wrestler. and we got 55,000 views last time. Okay, we didn't look at this maybe last show. Where are we going on here? Killer Kowalski and Bob Caudle. Oh, it's a friendship. I thought no one could be angry at Bob Caudle. He's a very sweet old gentleman. I think he's passed away quite recently, actually, but he was in his 90s. You might remember him from WCW in like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. He was hosting some of the shows, sometimes in commentary, but I wouldn't say relegated to being an announcer with a microphone, but he sort of had that role at the end of his run there. He did Bob Caudle and Jim Ross. You might remember those as a combination doing announcing on some of the syndicated WCW shows, more like your worldwides and such. I'm going to advance here. Beauregard, he is the guy, and we'd like to use him a bit more, but his in-ring wrestling is not great. I don't know, maybe he was great back in the day. It was big break in 1963, and now we're in 1970s. It's only 7 years before that, but yeah. Whether it's Cleopatra, Billy the Kid, Al Capone, or Julius Caesar, no one's safe from Beauregard's antics. Lovely stuff. Tomorrow night we've got Portland Wrestling TV show. And right now, it's a blank slate. I mean, obviously, get the feuds over, get our storylines rolling. But I don't know, what should we have as a main event? Let's have a little look, maybe, at what last week's show was and the show before that. The 2 weeks ago was when Antonio Inoki was away. And then they came back and they had a tag match, if I can remember correctly. Got my Norfolk Knights mug here. You Alan Partridge fans. Norfolk Knights. Billy Robinson flops. What? Gossip around Stampede is that the company have lost faith in Billy Robinson, of all the people to lose faith in. Classic British wrestler Billy Robinson. Oh my goodness. They no longer consider him to be the figurehead. That is big news. The change comes with business struggling. The blame for that apparently pinned firmly on the shoulders of Billy Robinson. Well, I think that's unfair. Who knows, Stampede? They might want to make the figurehead somebody with a second name of Hart. I don't know. So let's have a little look at show history. What did we book up? So we had Legend of the Thunderbird. We know what went down there. The first TV after that was very much heels going over everywhere. Gene Knitsky defeated Tony Bourne there in the bullrope match. Torquemada beat down Eric. And the Hawaii Connection actually beat the Von Steigers. So Dean Ho got a big victory there with his mate there, Don Morocco. And Ray Stevens, Haru Sasaki. People love Ray Stevens. And that brought like the house down for that one. And the main event, Antonio Inoki and Ray Stevens, two beloved figures here at Portland Wrestling. They beat Dutch Savage and Dean Knitsky. And Bobby Shane debuted last event, defeating Chris Colt and also saving Antonio and Ray Stevens from the beatdown here, the 3-on-2 beatdown. So, and we got Freddie Blassie. How many days has he got left until retirement? He had 1 week until retirement. He's retiring in 43 days. Him and Moondog Maine, they've got less feud going on here. We'll see what they do. But tonight is Portland Wrestling. Be prepared. Let's go ahead and advance to tonight, Portland Wrestling. Give the night off. Well, we have the entire roster available, so we can be generous and give somebody the night off. Who do we give? How many appearances? 1 appearance left. If we give him the night off, I think we should actually give him the night off. Because we don't want to use Jack Nicholson's final thing here until the actual show. Tony Rose is now in. She's going to debut tonight. Gene Knitsky, we've been using him a lot. Currently available. What is his actual health like? Yeah, he's not any injuries. Low level of fatigue, small impact. So it's good to keep a little check on these things too. 41. He's older than I am. Yeah. We won't give him the night off, but we might use him sparingly, as in not a big, heavy-handed, not a Texas death match, not tonight. Tonight's venue. Now we've got over the 3,000 barrier. And we could go for this one. I like this. Portland Sports Arena. It's a hotbed. The people love it there. Stay at this venue. Let's go. It wouldn't be wrestling if it wasn't the Portland Sports Arena, right? Booking team meeting. So we have Don Owen, Tony Bourne, Sandy Barr, Antonio Inoki, and we've got 160. So we had the storyline advancement there. So we can use maybe an angle idea here. Big gamble. Okay. Create a finish. I like to have one of those. Near certainty. Again, I'm thinking the main event. And a storyline idea. No, maybe not. Maybe character idea. Maybe character idea. Safe bet. And we'll save the rest of the energy there. So we've got character idea, create a finish, the storyline idea, which is, it says it's not assigned, but we did assign it. Did we not? Locker room incidents. Okay. Roll the dice. What's going to happen? Peter Maivia sold out Gorky apparently butted heads backstage and both furious with each other. One guy is relaxed and the other guy's professional. Well, how does a relaxed and a professional person start a fight here? I'm not sure. Doesn't say who really started as butted heads backstage. Can't do much there. The locker room is a buzz after Frankie Von Lane, that's the new name of Frankie Lane, and Chris Colt got into a huge argument over something and have to be physically separated. And I think we can guess, looking at past incidents, who might be responsible for this one. There seems to be every other show. Chris Colt comes in messed up and has a vendetta against people. That starts to get violent. Seems to happen again today. And we had Antonio Inoki running the training. Nothing much to report on here. Everyone working on basics and safety, which is good. And Kamarov. Okay. And again, this is the time. This is 1970. If he's a heel and he's fighting with fans outside the arena, as long as he wins, I don't really mind. No action. Bobby Shane has come up with an idea. He's like, I've got an idea. Give me the title. Maybe that's... yeah, that's a good idea, Bobby Shane. I'm sure his storyline idea will not have him being pinned with his shoulders to the canvas. I'm sure his idea will have him winning in some way. And the locker room missions have been completed. Right. Nothing too bad. Team bonding usually does nothing, but hey, nothing noteworthy. Again, sometimes you're going to play it safe because if you really just throw everything at the wall at the start of the show, you realize I'll never be able to get a good rating because everyone's morale has just tanked. Okay, let's have a look here then. Some of the heels will want to get revenge. Got Bobby Shane here as well. His idea was this. Does it have to go... His storyline idea. Does that actually have to... Can we add that to his... Oh, at least 30 days, yeah. And that says not assigned. Let's go back and check this one. No, it is assigned, because it says cancel creative idea here. How strange. And we know Kanitsky and Bobby Shane there are involved. Oh, Battle Royals, no. But I think Kanitsky, Bobby Shane. Let's have them being used here. We're going to have Bobby Shane, well known by the fans, technician. Flabby is the only problem. Not that it's a problem, but in the game sense, it's a problem. And to tough Tony Bourne. On the heels, we could have the Von Steigers, the Claw, Torquemada. Got a full roster today. I'm thinking we're using Gene Kanitsky. And Frankie Von Lane. And you might think, why would we do that? Why would we have Frankie in this one? I'll explain. Because Frankie is in the old Germany feud here with Eric and Dean here. And we know last time Torquemada defeated Eric and the guys who were involved in all this. And there's so many beatdowns and attacks here. Maybe it's time that Eric got some revenge. But Bobby Shane is going to go over. I think this is going to be an all-out match. I really want to see them doing all they can do here. We have some interference. Frankie Von Lane Eric is going to interfere here. And a creative finish. This is the match I'm going to throw everything into. Who's going to complain? A road agent combat competitor. Oh dear. Don, Tony. Oh, God. That's fine. Everybody's happy. I think that would be an amazing match. Don't know if we're going to have that on last, though. So, Eric is going to get some revenge today. Brawl. Backstage. Eric. And... not Dean. What's his name? Eric Froelich is going to face... oh, we'll have Carl, Kurt, and Frankie. Eric defies the odds. So keeping with what's been happening, Eric is getting battered, bullied backstage. This time, he manages to win the brawl. So Eric is cornered backstage by the Iron Reich. He manages to outsmart them and knocks over several pipes and barrels. I'm thinking like the WWF kind of backstages that were in the late 90s and things. So there's always equipment backstage which you could just knock over the opposing team, allowing him to escape, and the evil German team to be temporarily trapped. Germany feud. Advance that one. And also, minor storyline victory. We'd like Eric to get over on this one. And then Frankie to kind of lose out on that one. So he defies the odds. And that will happen afterwards. So they're annoyed with him there. They're going to attack him, but he breaks free in that one. Let's have a look. What else do we want to have? I think a good singles match for a main event here. And we've got Antonio Inoki. Oh, we've got so many good wrestlers here. So many top stars available. Already booked. Who's a good, well-known heel? Could he pull a good match out of the Claw? I think he could do that. That's a good thing to look as well. When you book these here, you can go match history and check. They've only had a 6-person tag match before. The Claw is quite okay, but he's not like a top star. So make that a smaller one there. I don't think it's worth having a title match just for the fact that why would the Claw be eligible for a title match? He wouldn't be, would he? So storyline, open, pinfall, clean. No, actually submission finish. It's Antonio Inoki we're talking about here. Take off the pinfall. And then, distraction. Of course it's going to be distracted by our man here. Of course it's going to be distracted by Tokamata. That's going to happen. Okay. There we go. Book that one. And we do not want to have the title holder there. We have an angle idea, which is a huge gamble. I like a gamble. Let's run with this. 8 minutes in the ring. Stare down. Antonio Inoki, Tokamata. And also, we want to have our man Gary Hart. The Claw has just been in there. Beauregard for comic relief. Can we add that as comic relief? Yes, we can. Stare down of the 2 top stars. And we will do a angle idea. And always, when we do a big gamble angle idea, we should probably write what we think will happen. The two biggest stars in the company meet face to face. A rematch is surely on the cards because people want to see Tokamata fight Antonio Inoki again. Tokamata still looks strong after the match last time, but the thing of it is, how is it going to happen? What kind of match is it going to be? So what's going to be the big risk here? Now, the big risk doesn't always have to be wrestlers doing a big risky thing, throwing each other off balconies and such. The ring fills with smoke as a canister of dry ice. With a canister of dry ice mixed with oxygen to create a supernatural effect. So that's the risk in this case, is our special effects department, which in this point is like a guy called Randy who just ties stuff together, throws under the ring and hope it works. The magical scene ends with Inoki left on his own in the ring, while fans at ringside cough and splutter. These kind of things might have been, a bit risky, and they might be done without the prior knowledge of maybe the fire department or whichever. Gotta have some action here, gotta have some fun stuff. Why not, eh? So we've got 2 matches, 2 big angles. Now we have a new female wrestler who we wanted to use. The women's division. We've got Toni Rose. Is he related to Buddy Rose? Toni Rose, is she? Who knows? Who knows, Toni Rose? Related to Buddy Rose? Buddy Rose isn't here yet. But Vivian Vachon is here. And she's 19 and is happy but neutral momentum. We have to get that momentum going higher. Vivian Vachon. Going to take on Toni Rose. We're going to have a storytelling type of match. We're going to script this match. Don't usually script matches very much because it wasn't the done thing in these days. 6 minutes. An easy 6 minutes. Post-match. 3 minutes. In the ring. Interview. With the nicest man in wrestling. Or is it Frank Bonner? Or should we use Keith Jackson? The nicest man in wrestling. Kind of looks like JR. Vivian Vachon. She's going to talk about... Let's have a think. Donna Christianello. Vachon on Donna. In the ring. Let's go. Boom. And we'll do that post-match. So she gets her win. Hand raised. And no bad thing against Toni here either. Let's do a little bit of action here. Creative idea. We can do a character idea. Safe bets. Deploy. And it was a success. Nice. So that means that she's going to have a bit more steam there going up. We want to build up her momentum when she finally crosses paths with Donna. Creative finish. She's deployed. Bobby Shane's storyline idea. Can't use that yet. Angle idea, and that one is deployed. Okay, all these fancy ideas are done. Let's do a 5-on-5 elimination. Regular. So a big tag match. These people are already booked. Who have we got as our faces? We'll go back to, so we've got Dean Ho, Eric, Moondog Main, Ray Stevens. And who else should we put with them? Who would be a good guy to have in the men's division. Again, these 4 plus 1 more. Who could we lift up? Who do we want to do? Peter Maivia. Cool momentum, but we know he's a good wrestler. Yeah, I'm thinking Peter Maivia. Why not? On the heel side, I want to have Freddie Blassie, who is in a feud here with your man there. The Von Steigers lost last time, didn't they? No, the last match they won there. Okay, they won. We will put a few guys here who are maybe not the top stars. Chris Colt and then Ron Dupree. I'm only going to do a 7-minute match. Quick in and out. Just to make, just to get some people over and get some people victories. Dean Ho. Storytelling. So this won't be the opening match, but it will have a storytelling here. And then we've got Moondog on the team getting a victory over Freddie Blassie. And I bet you he will have something to say about that. So let's have a look here. Beatdown attacker Freddie Blassie on Moondog main. Blassie attacks main post match. Blassie goes wild at Moondog main. And even, lots of cool angles on this show, even produces some scissors and tries to trim the mighty beard of the Moondog. Just because he lost, he got angry, he got bitter, and tries to beat up the Moondog and cut some of his beard off. Despicable behavior, am I right? Okay. Let's have one more tag match, and we'll start the show with the tag match. We'll have the Von Steigers. We do like the Von Steigers. Versus the Texas Outlaws. And we will do Carl Von Steiger, lift the crowd. Clean victory. Okay, we need 1 minute more and we need to do an angle. Any storylines that we have not looked at? Donna Vivian, we've got working there. We've got Gary Hart, and all these guys working that one, yes. Dean Ho versus... Actually, we haven't got... Dean Ho could be doing something here, couldn't he? And Harris Sasaki. Classy One, the Beast, tag team veterans. Of course, yeah, we've got Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, Dutch. Yeah, we're not using Dutch. And there we go, saving the day. Ray Stevens saves our Roddy Piper. And Dutch and Greg Valentine were beaten last time, so they're bitter. Bitter. Dutch and Greg. Target Piper. Yes. Because we didn't do anything with their feud. And that could happen post-match here. Oh, could it be there? We'll put it before that one, because they're targeting Piper. Ray Stevens helps out, then he turns up for this match. Okay, 67. What can we do on the pre-show? What are we thinking, ladies and gentlemen? Pre-show madness here. Absolute madness. Women's division. I'm going to give Donna a victory over somebody. Judy Grable. They wrestled quite recently. Marie Laverne. They have not wrestled. In a while, at least. And the only title match on the show, because remember, we haven't had a men's title match. The tag team titles we didn't use either. And Donna's going to get the victory. But we make sure we work the crowd. And Donna will be involved later on, or at least a subject later on. And we have quite a big roster. And I always count for people not turning up, so we kind of play it safe a lot of the time with that one. I could put Mark Lewin and Roddy Piper here. They might think, oh, Roddy Piper's going to get victory here to build him up. No, we're going to use Mark Lewin. Pre-show victory here. Evan Stevens, cool momentum. Dutch Savage, well known. We should probably get him over somewhere. And then against Don Morocco, pre-show. That's going to be like the main event of the pre-show. Dutch Savage. Tainted victory. We'll add that there. I don't know if it makes any difference to having this last one before they open it. So we've got some big angles here. We've got the liquid smoke dry ice angle here to end with. A bit of the Undertaker spookiness. Got a big risk there, so I'm very intrigued. And we've got Eric here defying the odds, even though he's beaten up corner backstage. Managed to knock over some pipes and stuff and gets free. Antonio Inoki taking on the Claw as the TV main event. Again, we're not putting all our eggs in that basket. The match, though, which we're hoping will get the best rating, is Bobby Shane and Tony Bourne. Maybe make them some sort of permanent tag team if that works out well. And Gene Kiniski and Frankie Von Lane. Well, I think, without further ado, maybe we can start the show. What do you guys think? Countdown to extinction. 3, 2, 1. And these are the results from Portland Wrestling, held at the Pacific Northwest. Of course, it's a sellout. 2,200 people in the Portland Sports Arena. Don't know what the accent is. Who knows? And we got a win for Mark Lewin, as we said. We want to work him like a bit more. 55. Expectant simmering crowd. It did what it was meant to do here. It got a 49 rating overall. It's pretty much good enough to be on the main show, I'd say. Again, we're looking for somebody. Maybe Mark Lewin could feud with Tony Bourne. Maybe those two. Maybe what would their feud be about? Because Tony's just finished his feud with Gene Kiniski. Mark Lewin is coming up. I want to think about what we can do there. 51, Donna Cristianello. And she got a good rating, 52. She's getting better at her gimmick. Beauregard did some good job here. Of course, she's with the Evil Enterprises. Villain Enterprises. One with the body scissors. Lovely stuff. Made defense number 3 of her women's title. And the main event of the pre-show, Don Morocco did not win. It was Dutch Savage getting the victory. By cheating, he used the ropes for leverage. So keeping Dutch Savage's momentum here up because he's still in this feud with Ray Stevens with his second. His second is Greg Valentine. The opening match of the main show. It got 55, 37, and 65 overall. And it was the excellent chemistry of Carl and Kurt Von Steiger. Great job here. And they battled the Texas Outlaws of Dick Murdoch and Dusty Rhodes. A double elbow smash. Dusty's elbows were not strong enough this time because they didn't get the win. But the two strongest members of the Iron Reich involved. Opening segment of the show, but will they be involved later on? I think you know the answer. And a good 4-minute angle, Dutch Savage and Greg Valentine attack Roddy Piper backstage before Ray Stevens makes the save. So advancing the angle, we've got a 61, that's respectable here. And the people love Ray Stevens. Anything Ray Stevens is involved in gets the people happier. And lucky for them, they're going to see him in a second here because we've got a 10-man tag. A 59 rating, but I do not think it was Ray Stevens bringing it down. No, he got 77. 72 here of Dean Ho. The guy bringing it down was Ivan Kamarov. Yeah, he's the guy who got a 35. But Ron Dupree as well, 37. Now those two. I think it's kind of time to not use them in main show angles. Again, if we've got people like Mark Lewin doing 55 ratings and can get better if they've been told, push ahead, do a story-driven match, do a all-out match, a wild brawl, they can get a lot higher than they're getting. the crowd liked it. It's hot and rising. And advancing some storylines, gaining heat. Classy One versus the Beast. And these two on opposite sides of the ring here. What did Peter Maivia get? I'm sort of interested now. 51. Okay, room for improvement, but he's not doing bad. Again, we can use him in an angle or a storyline somewhere further down the line. And of course, Blasico's wild post-match. Of course, he didn't lose. He didn't get pinned, but his team lost. And you know who he blames? He blames Moondog Mayne. And he is particularly angry at his beard, and he's trying to cut it off. Vivian Vachon defeated the debuting Tony Rose, who's not related to Buddy Rose or Tony Storm, but a nice mix of both. An adequate gimmick here. The interesting thing, though, 46 in-ring performance. So our wrestling female heels, all of them seem to be more competent at wrestling, a better in-ring performance than our baby faces. So it's a question of should we turn some of the heels face, or should we mix it up a bit, take in some other people? We'll have to see. 48 overall. Again, it's not something I want to main event a show with, but we're getting there. We're building a women's division, and I'm proud that that's working out there. Badass. A large boost to charisma during matches and angles. How about that? And then we've got the interview post-match. And she used the freedom to go off scripts and performed well. Keith Jackson, nicest man in wrestling. He helped her on her way, and she did an interview against Donna, so they're gaining heat. In a superb bout, great heat, Bobby Shane and Tony Bourne. They defeated Kanitsky and Frankie Lane, and this is exactly what we wanted. Got the crowd buzzing. Bobby Shane benefited on a hot new move. He could be the guy. He could be one of the guys we build this company around. And Frankie Von Lane unfortunately let the side down a bit, but it didn't exactly affect the ratings. So the All Germany feud, they advanced, gained heat. The Kanitsky against the youth of Bobby Shane also gained heat. Because the good guys got the victory here, but the bad guys are going to be really angry at this one. And the creative finish, which we knew was going to be a big risk, that made everything. I think this is going to be the best match of the card, and that's when you book in this kind of way, when you plan like a certain match, maybe middle of the show like this was, a tag match is going to be the biggest rating, and it pulls it off. This is exactly what we want to have. Crowd heat very hot. And then post-match is Eric outsmarting them. He gets muscled backstage by these guys, but he managed to escape. And they were left lying under a pile of barrels and other messed up things. Who else? What else are we going to have? Fire extinguishers, who knows? Under a pile of stuff. Junk. And Eric gets free. And the three members, not of Imperium, but of the Iron Reich, they are left and quite disappointed by this. I don't think this will be the last we hear of the All Germany feud. And the TV main event, not for the title, it's a non-title match because Antonio Inoki is going to probably face Torquemada for that title, but he got the victory in 8 minutes 37 with Manjigatame, and it was a story-driven match, which worked really well. And the crowd at the end was very hot for this. And the storyline idea was a success because we had Torquemada turning up at ringside, trying to distract him, helping his mate out the claw. But Antonio Inoki, of course, received a moral boost because it's a successful storyline. Oh, Jack Nicholson as well. He got a moral boost. He was not even here. Hopefully this doesn't count to one of his appearance things. We purposefully told him he didn't have to turn up today. I like all these green things. 6 green lines. It makes me happy. 70. But post-match, we've got the angle with a big risk. It's a big gamble. I don't think it's going to get a 70. I'm kind of fearful to press the next segment. 64. Okay. The idea was a success. It wasn't brilliant, though. But They meet face to face. You know, he was out there for the distraction, didn't work. He got a submission on the claw. And then all the guys are in the ring. Gary Hart, the claw, Beauregard, and of course Torquemada across the ring from Antonio Inoki. And the fans, they want to see them both. They want to see them both face against each other in another main event. What's the stipulation going to be at Redwood Rebellion? And you think they're going to come to blows? They're going to sign a contract? An interview are going to come down? But no, the whole ring starts filling with smoke. Something underneath the ring, a supernatural effect. And the magical scene ends with the Inoki on his own in the ring. And the fans at ringside trying to get their breath back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show at Portland Wrestling for this week. And it gained popularity in one region, and that region will hopefully be the Northwest. It'll go to 67. Again, not overall our best one, but we're gaining momentum, we're adding storylines, which are also getting intrigue. Our tag match, which we had as our intention to be the best match. I only got two better than the main event, which was kind of a, not throwaway main event, but a storyline-driven, good for TV, but nothing spectacular. But even that, the fans are behind Antonio Inoki, and I'm sure that's what got it the 70 here, sorry. Bobby Shane, relatively newcomer. This is only his second week on TV. I'd say he's ready to main event. I wouldn't put him there yet, but I think he'd be ready to. Maybe him and Inoki could have an exhibition next week. Could be something. No strikes to the face. No closed fists. No, you're not going to have closed fists in wrestling anyway, but if we specify that beforehand, good face versus face exhibition, which could be ruined by the heels, who knows? And Piper always getting beaten down here. Got some sympathy on him. Vivian Vachon is building some momentum and getting some victories here. He's got Donna Christianello in her sights. And Dean Ho, Eric, Moondog Main, and Ray Stevens victorious against Freddie Blassie and his team of goons here. Von Steigers, dominant as always. It must be time for them to have a rematch for the Pacific Northwest Tag Team titles. They are the record title holders. And it kind of is a strange thing of affairs when they're not the champions. Financial report. We are making money hand over fist every single show. This one made $33,000. Workers show costs sort of cancel each other out here. Marketing a little bit there. A huge amount of tickets. $6,000 in merchandise. What's selling the most? Can we check that out? Maybe we can go on the finance screen. Popularity from 61 up to a 62. And we already see there's more people wanting to get to our shows, so we're going to have sellouts every single TV show. And the question is, at Redwood Rebellion, how big of an arena do we want to book here in the Northwest? How big do we want this place to be? And that's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. And that was the end of our show today. Thank you for joining us here at the Pacific Northwest in the 1970s. You now may resume your regular lives in 2026. But come back, visit us in 1970. See what it's like here. We wrestle in an old school kind of way here in Portland. All right, guys. See you next time.